Blogging for bucks, getting paid to blog. This is probably one of my favorite methods for making money online because of its simplicity. Because basically anybody can do this, and it does not take a lot to get started. We are going to cover some options, and in fact, let's go ahead and look at the overview here. We're going to cover some options that'll help accelerate your blogging monetization, but none of these are going to be required. You can actually get started for very, very little. In fact, you can get started absolutely free, which makes it pretty inviting. The only thing I would say to that is, obviously, every time you spend money, you accelerate your income growth. But let's take a look first at just an overview of what we're going to be covering. Blogging Explained, where I'm going to give you some of the terms that you're going to hear and familiarize you with what blogging is. Then we're going to go over the actual setup and what you need to do to get yourself ready to start blogging. Monetizing, how we're going to make money with our blog, and how do you get some traffic to that blog? Because traffic is the secret ingredient. That's what we need. SEO for your blog. I'm going to talk to you about some of the organic optimization that you can do to help that blog get even more traffic and get higher ranking. Then we'll look at AdSense optimization, how you can lay out your blog. There are definitely more superior ways to lay out that blog. And then some tips and resources on just some things that you'll find very interesting that have to do with blogging. Then I've got a little bonus, Fast Track to Ranking. I can show you how to get on the first page of Google very, very quickly. We've got some action steps for you to complete. These are things that I want you to go out and do in the order that you see them there, so that you have kind of like a check-off list. And then we're going to talk about flipping, which is another really great way to make money on a blog. All you have to do is basically set the blog up, and then you can turn around and sell it. Or you can buy a blog that's already set up and running, but you can make it more profitable and then turn around and sell it and get a big chunk of money. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So first up is Blogging Explained. What is a blog? It's really simple, and by now probably most people are aware of it, but I'm going to go over this just in case. But a blog, it's short for web log, and originally it was set up just as kind of like an online diary kind of thing. But it's taken off. It's gotten so very popular that blogs are now just something where people go and they can write their thoughts. They can do reviews of things that they saw. There are blogs that are absolutely huge and have thousands and thousands of followers. Anybody who wants to put out new, fresh content more than likely has a blog, and that's how they're doing it. Is it easy? Everything that you're going to see in this module is easy. There's not a whole lot of technical stuff involved, especially if you follow my guidelines. But yeah, it is easy. Not only the actual doing of it, but making money with this is a fairly easy process. As long as you follow the guidelines and do everything like I tell you, it should work out great for you. What are the startup costs? This is one of the questions that people usually ask when they're talking to me about getting something set up, is how much is this going to cost me up front? First and foremost, it is possible to do this entire process absolutely free, zero cost. All you do is put a little bit of elbow grease into it. All right, but we can accelerate our income by paying a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit, I'm not talking about thousands of dollars. Much less than that, actually. Domain name registration, $10 a year. The reason I'm mentioning this is because it is better, if you want to be taken more seriously and make more money, it's better for you to have your own domain name. So if your name was, Jimmy Johnson, then you would want to try to register jimmyjohnson.com or something like that, right? Or if you have a company name you want to use, or if you just have some kind of branded name that you want to use, fantastic. But it's best if you have your own domain name. Now, when you have your own domain name, you're going to need hosting, and that's going to cost you about $5 to $9 a month, depending on if you pay monthly or if you pay for a year up front. Okay, so we're looking at around $80 a year for hosting for the kind that we need, and that's not a whole lot of expense. Now, beyond this, there are some other things that I'm going to recommend to you, and they're optional, but again, it helps with your, it helps to accelerate the amount of money that you're going to make, and you'll discover why very quickly as you start getting into this. But that's the minimum of what we need to have our own blog that is on our own site. Now, other options. Let's say, I don't have $1. I spent my last penny on this course. I don't have any more money. How can I get started? You still can. Let me introduce the different platforms that you can do this on. First off, we have Blogger at blogger.com. Absolutely free. You do not need the domain registration. You do not need the hosting. You need absolutely nothing. You go there and you set up an account. They host it for you. Now, the only thing is with that, the reason that it's more difficult to be taken seriously is because your web address, your blog, will be, like myhuntingblog.blogger.com. So it's got their name in it. Now, when people see that, obviously it's going to be real hard to give that information out to people because it's going to be pretty long because you got to have that .blogger.com part in it. Plus, just the fact that everybody knows that a Blogger account is free. So it is a little bit more difficult to be taken seriously. However, you can set that up and you can start blogging and you can actually start making some money with that, whether it's AdSense or affiliate offers or whatever. Next up, we have WordPress. WordPress.com is another blogging platform like Blogger, as in they will host it for you there. So everything applies that I just said with the Blogger account, but it's going to be, mysuperhuntingblog.wordpress.com. That's the only difference. Now, WordPress is one of the best blogging platforms available. However, they offer, and this is what I'm going to recommend to you, there are lots of blogging platforms, and if perchance you are familiar with one of the other ones and you like it, that's fine. But the one that I use is WordPress, but here's the deal with that. WordPress offers their software at wordpress.org, and it's still free. You can download the script, everything that runs the blog, but you have to put it on your computer, not your home computer, but your own hosting computer, right? So this is for self-hosted blogs, and that's what we were talking about up here, where you have your own domain name and you've got a hosting account. You go to wordpress.org, you download their software, put it on your server, and run it there, right? So now you have your very own blog, like as in you are running everything, and it's your domain name. Nothing else really to say about that until we start getting into actual hands-on stuff, and you'll see me do a lot of this stuff in the training, so you can kind of get familiar. But the nice thing about it is, honest folks, everything here that we've talked about, whether you do it at Blogger or WordPress, or you go ahead and get your own WordPress blog and self-host it, the tutorials available for you to do all of that are so self-explanatory. It's really easy. Even if you're not a real technical person, you can follow these instructions and do this. There's nothing complicated in setting up this blog. In fact, check this out. I did not mention this yet, but if you go, I'm going to recommend a hosting company to you on the next page. If you go with them, you don't even have to fool with downloading WordPress and uploading it and installing it. There's a little icon in there in your cPanel. You click on it, follow the instructions, and it just installs it on your website for you. So totally easy. So for setup, we need to get our blogger.com or our wordpress.com account. on this, even if you're going to do the self-hosted blog, which I totally recommend, because eventually you're going to go that way anyway. When you start making some money, you're going to want to kind of have your own entity there. But even if you're going to do that, I still recommend get a Blogger and a WordPress account, because you're going to be able to write a little article on those and link back to your blog. We'll talk about more of that when we look at the traffic. So let's go ahead to, might as well go ahead and set up the account right now. If you're going to do self-hosting, again, which is my recommendation, you're going to need your own domain name, so you need to start thinking of what you're going to call this blog. And then if you go to MattyBlazeHosting.com, again, they have the one-click WordPress install. You log into your cPanel after you get your account, you click on that little icon, and it walks you through the whole process, and it does the WordPress installation for you. Very, very nice feature. About picking your domain name, I recommend that you stick with the .com, or if that's not available, .net and .org. And of course, you can try to put dashes in there if you need to. But for this, the best thing for you to do is come up with a real simple, easy to remember name. Because with this, there's going to be a lot of word of mouth kind of advertising, if you will. And that means people are going to be telling other people, go to joesbigblog.com. So it needs to be something real easy to remember, something real easy to say. And if you have those dashes in there, sometimes that's real tough. So try to come up with a name that is real simple and easy, and you try to use keywords for your niche if you're targeting a specific niche for products and for advertisers and stuff like that, and try to avoid those dashes if possible. But definitely try to get some keywords in the niche. Okay, now the general look of a blog, and you're going to see what a generic WordPress blog looks like very soon when we get to this section on the hands-on stuff, where I'm going to show you I'll show you, for example, the one-click install, so you can see what that's going to look like, how easy it is, and then what the generic blog looks like. After that, I'm gonna recommend to you to install a theme, and a theme it changes the look and the behavior of a blog. Okay, it's called a WordPress theme, and it allows you to literally, after you install a theme, you can just click on it and activate it and totally change the look of your blog. And that's one thing that I really love about the whole blogging concept, is it's not like with a regular website. Let's say I've got a site and it's my first try, so I go ahead and I set up everything, and it looks fairly decent, but granted, it's my first time, so it looks kind of lame a little bit. But later on, let's say I want to revamp it and make the site look new. I got to just go in and totally change everything. I got to redo the site. And that means I got to take the pages and copy them all over, the content. And it's a super big hassle, takes a lot of time, and usually you end up farming the job out to somebody else because it's so tough. Well, with a WordPress blog, you can literally, if you want to change the look of your site, you install a theme and click a button to activate it, and boom, it's done. And that's what you're going to see happen. I'm going to have a generic blog. I'm going to activate a theme, and it's going to look like all of a sudden a professional website. The theme, though, that I'm going to recommend to you is the Thesis theme. Go to www.wpthemethesis.com, or if you look at the PDF for this slide, for this video, you can just click on that. It'll take you there. But this theme, the reason that I use this theme is because it's super duper customizable, and it looks really sharp. And you're going to see, again, an example of it here in a little bit. You are going to have to buy it. It's not super expensive. I think it's, if memory serves me, I think it is about $80. But what you get from that, serious SEO optimization. SEO, and by the way, this is the best theme that I have seen and that I have had recommended for SEO optimization. Lots of features. SEO is search engine optimization. What that means is that the pages are done in such a way that search engines absolutely love to go through the content and index the site. So if you're trying to target a specific keyword term, it's very easy to do with the thesis theme. Lots of customization options, and you're going to see that I'm going to do some stuff to tweak the site just to change the look and the layout of it for exactly what it is that I'm looking for. I also recommend that you go to this link, rickbackman.org/thesis-openhook. This is a little plugin that works with the thesis theme that I recommend that you install as well. Okay, but as far as the installation of WordPress and everything in the hands-on section, you're going to see me do that. You're going to see me put this thesis theme in there and even the thesis open hook plugin. So all that's going to be, piece of cake for you.